written answers.
Thank you, Senator Blackburn. I understand Senator Tillis is in a virtual position waiting to be recognized. Senator Tillis?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, I know the vote's been called, so I will be brief. I do share some of the concerns expressed by some of my colleagues with the judicial nominations, but I would like to ask Mr. Monteiro a couple of questions. One, Mr. Monteiro, congratulations on being a school board member. I think it's probably one of the most difficult jobs anybody could volunteer to do. So thank you for being willing to serve. I know that in answer to Senator Grassley's question about the resolution removing police officers from schools, you said that you voted against that and you thought that any strategy moving forward would require a thoughtful approach. Can you give me an idea of what a thoughtful approach would look like and what you think under what scenario you think removing law enforcement from schools could be a demonstrably good idea?
Thank you for the question, Senator. And yes, one of the reasons I did not support that resolution was because I went to almost every principal in the county asking for their view on whether school resource officers were helpful or a positive influence on their school setting. And I couldn't find a single principal who thought school resource officers were a danger. I believe then and now we actually had a very successful SRO program in our county schools, given the challenges that we faced for different reasons. So I thought we had a good model of where school resource officers, in concert with our county police department, could provide a resource that was helpful to keeping school environments safe in a way that did not cast any negative effect on students. We had so many reports where the SROs were actually trusted by students. Students would confide in them and help them anticipate challenges to avoid violent fights or other activities that were illegal in a school setting. I regret that I was on the losing side of that debate, but I thought the model we had in our county was a good example of what could work well.
Well, that's good. So it sounds like to me, 15 years ago, before I entered politics, I was a PTA president at a high school that had one of the reasons I became more active than just a volunteer in the PTA to be PTA president is we were having a serious problem with school crime. And I found that the resource officers, the principals work very closely together. And I think they're a positive influence in schools. I infer from your question, you agree with that.
Yes, a well-managed and well-run SRO program can be a great benefit to a school system.
Thank you. Did have a question. I know you've worked in two prior administrations, one Democrat, one Republican. Tell me how that experience and other work experience qualifies you for the job you're being considered for confirmation.
Thank you for the question, Senator. I do like to think that my time as a legal intern in the office of Harriet Myers was a great learning experience. I actually started in the office the weekend after Hurricane Katrina. It was also the weekend that Chief Justice Rehnquist passed away. So the office was already in the middle of Supreme Court nomination process and storm response. And this was at the same time I was attending Howard University School of Law. And so to be able to see up close, dedicated public servants working as best they could to address issues, and it was a great learning experience to me. At the same time, I had classmates who were protesting that administration for their response on hurricane relief and other things. But it was helpful for me to always look to people of goodwill, and there were so many of those folks who were simply trying to do the right thing as they saw it. And in the Obama years, I certainly had many opportunities to work with a wide range of faith-based groups. Didn't always agree, but always dealt with based on mutual respect, understanding when they would disagree with something the administration was doing, but always looking for ways to find common ground. And certainly during my time at AmeriCorps and at CRS as an acting director, always looking to find any areas of commonality to help communities find a way forward through a stalemate or a standoff.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations to you, Mr. Monteiro, and the other nominees.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Tillis. Senator Lee would like to ask another question. We're on a roll call on the floor, in fact, 2 roll calls, so the entire Senate